Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to today's session. Today's session, we're going to make it very, very simple and precise. I believe we are excited for today's session. Today, we are just going to be going straight forward into what I title Making Money Trading Gold. I believe we are all excited. We are all excited for this session today. So this is a series I'm going to be doing on gold. A lot of people have been sliding into my DM asking how I trade gold profitably the way I've always been doing. So I decided to do a give back to the community by just sharing some of the nuggets that I apply when it comes to gold trading. So this series is going to be exciting, it's going to be rewarding, and it's going to be educating. So making money trading gold. So what you should understand is that there are certain things one has to consider, certain things you have to take into consideration before you can actually make much money trading gold. For example, you have to take a look at what are the things that affect gold, fundamentally speaking. Then you look also take a look at the average daily range, how volatile gold is. How does gold react when it gets to certain psychological levels? So these are few of some of the things you have to consider when you are trading gold, especially considering the fact that you want to make money from gold. So today we're just going to be looking at one particular aspect of it, technically speaking, that if followed judiciously, it's gonna really rake in the dollars. So what is it? Entry pattern with 95% win ratio in goal. I believe someone is excited already. Someone is really sitting at the edge. So just pull your seat closer and let's dish out the nuggets. So there are a lot of entry patterns people use in trading. A lot of them. People use the bullish engulfing. People use the hammer. Some people use chart pattern, maybe the bullish continuation, the flags, or you can name a lot of them. But here's the case: we are looking at entry patterns, so it's not going to be all those chart candlestick chart pattern. It's just going to be some a little chart pattern, maybe just combination of 2 3 candlesticks to form a pattern. That is what we are going to be looking at. So I'm going to be giving out 2 of these entry patterns I personally use. So let's see. Whoa. The first one is railroad pattern. This is a very effective pattern when it comes to gold trading. Railroad pattern, this is how it looks like. So it's basically a candle that that is being formed, a pattern that is being formed with both the buy and the sell candle, where either the close of the bearish candle is where the open of the bullish candle starts, or where the open of the bullish candle is where the close of the bearish candle takes effect. So basically, it's something like this. So this represents a bullish candle. So let's get our bearish candle represented. So currently we are in a, let's say we are in a downtrend. So price has dropped right now, trying to give us a lower high. So we are trying to look for entry to sell. So you come and you just notice a railroad forming. So this is a bearish candle, and this is our bullish candle, right? So these 2 candles is what forms the railroad pattern. So therefore, after the emergence of these two candle, this formation, what are we looking out for? You're just going to do what? Straight out, look out for cells. Pick your cells. And it's going to drop. Trust me, it's going to drop. In a short while, we're going to be going to the chart. It's going to drop. So the moment this shows up, launch your cells and you are going to really, really see what's going to happen. You're going to be swimming in massive profits. That is it for railroads. So let's take a look at the next one. We're just going to be doing very snappy. I don't want to take much of your time, but I want to dish it out straight so that you get to work. So the next one we're going to be looking at is the morning or evening star pattern. This is very common. A lot of people trade this. One thing with the morning and evening star pattern is the time, being able to understand the exact one to use, because sometimes you have candles closing out the pattern or completing the pattern being very long, whether it's a buy candle or it's a sell candle, because if it's an evening star, the expectation is for a sell. So the last candle completing the pattern is a sell candle. So sometimes you might have it very long, and it takes experience and someone guiding you to show you where exactly to enter, which will also have a way of entering with those kind of uh, evening star or morning star, as the case may be. So let's have take a look at how an evening star or a morning star looks like. So let's see, we are in a bullish trend. Then you all of a sudden something like this pops up, probably at a resistance level. This is an inverted hammer. So this is a sell candle right there. So you had a bullish candle forming pure. So you had this forming. Now this has a little wick. So bearish candle breaks the previous high. So this candle breaks this high, right? Upon breaking the high, it could not close above the high. As you can see with our diagram, it ended up closing below the high of that particular bullish candle. So first sign is this rejection candle. Now, after the rejection candle, we have a bearish continuation. So a bearish candle confirming the previous sell or the rejection. So this as a whole, forms an evening star. So what does this denote? It denotes or connotes that sell is coming in. So this is another pattern that is very, very effective when it comes to trading gold. So the morning star is just a flip of this. So basically, as we dive into the chart, you're going to be seeing a whole lot of this and how it's been playing out to confirm with what we are just talking about. So ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at a couple of things before we dive into the chart. So let me bring out my whiteboard. All right. So now, as we have seen the patterns, this is how we will be trading them for effectiveness. All right. So the best places to trade this pattern is at a resistance or at a support. So you are currently in a bullish trend, price rises, and you now spot your evening star right there. This is a perfect entry for sales. Market is trending bearish, downwards. You now spot a morning star. That is your buy right there. So this is what we are just going to be focusing on. First, the patterns, then you just stick to the support and resistance. So that is it. Now let's dive into our chart. Oh la la, the wait is over. Okay, so first of all, what we'll be doing, it's always to draw your support and resistance, either from the H4 or from the daily. But for the purpose of this session, we're not going to be drawing those from the daily or from the H4. We're just going to, highest, we're going to be drawing from the H1. And also, I'm going to tell you the time frame to look out for these patterns, because you're not going to be looking out for these patterns on every time frame. There are specific time frame you're going to be looking out for this pattern. Remember, we are talking about entries. So you don't just stay on a higher time frame and pick entries. You have to come down to a lower time frame so that you give yourself a bigger reward and less risks. So imagine you're picking let's say you're picking a buy on this time frame. This is daily. You're going to be exposed. So the time frame we're going to be using is M30 for the purpose of this particular session. So I'm just going to start. Let's just go a little backward, maybe May. So I'm going to do, okay, let's start from here, May 2021. Let's see. So as you can see, first we have our resistance right there. And what did we have there? A railroad. This is a railroad formation. The close of the sell is as exactly the same price as the open of the buy candle. What happened? Immediately it presented right at the resistance. What happened? You had a straight fall. That is Monday, the one. First ticked. Let's move on to the next day. Now this is a new day. Same thing. Railroad again. We had some pips right there. I'm just going to be focusing on the outcome for now. So that's 72 pips. That's massive. So day two, we also got something right there. So let's look at day three. As you can see, still within the zone, we had a railroad right there. The close of the buy candle was equally the open of the sell candle. And what happened? We had a straight drop. Remember, like I said, one thing you have to note is picking this trade within either a supply zone, a demand zone, a support or resistance. That is where you are going to be getting this 95% result. You don't just pick it off any in the middle of the zone. You're not going to get this result. I'm showing you how to accurately trade gold and make money. So that is another railroad right there. And you can see the amount of pips it gave. This is day three, same thing, another one right there. Let's put it out there for us to see. Look at that. There's resistance, railroad rejection, drops. How many pips from entry? 108. How many pips risking? 34 pips. So that is just about almost 1:3. Look at this. This is an evening star. Bullish candle, pin bar, breaks through the high of this particular candle. Or is it? The high of this candle is broken right at this level. So what happened? The next candle closes bearish. This is what I was talking about. When the next candle, the candle that completes the pattern is a bit long or longer, what do you do? So you can say, what you should do, let me just give you this tip, is trade 50% of that candle. 50% of that candle is going to act as a support or resistance depending on the direction. So in this case, it's a resistance. So 50% would have given us entry around where I'm having my arrow. So you can see you would have just had about just 9 pip drawdown, and look at what happened. 257 pips in your favor. So I can go on and on and on and show you. This is just in 1 week. All 3 days, there is setup, and you can see how effective they are. So I'm going to move straight to the next week and just keep showing you some of these things. The reason I'm doing this is to show you how effective or how you can take advantage of this pattern and make the necessary money you want, depending on your account size. Irrespective of the fact that this is working accurately, that doesn't mean you should over leverage your account. Remember, like I said, I'm just doing a give back to my followers or to the community. Now let's take a look at this one. We have seen a lot of railroad playing out. So what do we have here? So we have a support at that point. So we did have an evening star at this point. Look at it here. What happened? We had a push to the upside. So this is a zone right there. This is a demand zone. Looking at from the left hand side, you can see at that zone we had a push to the upside. So price during the Asian session accumulated around there, forming a demand zone. You can see the strong rejection on this candle. Then a bullish candle formed. So that formed a demand zone. So you can see this morning star formed within that zone. And after the formation, because the completion candle was small, look at what happened. Straight rise. Let's see how many pips. 50 pips. If we go to the high, 67 pips. So guys, this is how powerful this thing is. The pattern I'm showing us here. That is how powerful it is, how effective it is. This is another Monday right there. This is a railroad forming right there. This is a bit advanced. This particular one, I shared it in my community and we took it. This is a bit advanced because you have to combine it with market structure to be able to take advantage of this railroad. But as you can see, the pattern is right there. And after the formation of that pattern, you can see a smooth drop, a smooth drop. It dropped. Let's see how many pips. That's almost 300 pips from that entry point. Look at this again. This is easier for you to grab. Let's get this clean. Look at this. So now price has broken through all this zone. Price has broken through this zone where there's move. So what happened? We had a retracement to test this zone that price had broken through right at this point. So what happened? We had our evening star right there. Bullish candle, rejection candle, then a pin bar closing with a sell. So you can see what happened. Straight up sells, straight up sells, straight up sells. So guys, I kid you not, this is a simple pattern I use every single day when I'm trading gold. So this is the pattern I use. This is how I approach the market. That when I put out my result, people are like, wow, how do you get to know that this is gonna buy? How did you get to know gold is gonna sell? This is it. This is it, guys. I'm just giving it out free. I'm dishing out this free. I'm just giving out to the community. So, guys, for the sake of time, I'm not going to be going much into showing us other examples. If you go through the chat, you'll be seeing them just playing out time with that number over and over again. Railroad pattern, morning star, evening star is just going to be playing out over and over again. If you can stick to these two, trading gold will be as simple as anything can be. It's going to be very, very simple. You just need to stay focused, trade just these two patterns, applying it with the support and resistance, just like I've said, it's going to be very, very easy for you. Now, before I wrap up this particular session, remember, like I said, it's a series. It's a series. So this is just the first part of the series. I still have two more left on gold because I want to make sure that I give you the necessary information you would require to make good money from gold. And all I require in return is just for you to subscribe, like my button, my page, and share the content. Let others see the content we are putting out. So before we round up, let's look at today. So today is Friday, the 16th of July, 2021. Still with our pattern. Look at this. So I'm just going to show you how I traded this. So picking this, extend it. So that forms my demand zone. Why is that my demand zone? Because that is where we started seeing the strong effects of bias, which led to this strong move. If you want to know how I draw, I spot my demand and supply zones, you can send me a DM and I will gladly show you how to do that, or you can enroll for one of my classes, either my Gold Master class or the General Forex class. Then you will get to see and experience it live how we draw our supply and demand. Now, with what I said, upon spotting my demand zone, we had our first candle rejection in the zone. We had the second candle doji in the zone, and now we had by completing the evening start or the morning start. Sorry. What happened? Like I told you guys, when the last candle, the completion candle is bigger, what do? 50%. So 50% of this candle is somewhere there, right? So risking 38, currently what is happening? We are floating 59 pips, 59 pips. My target is here, that is 1827. That is where I'm targeting. So we are still floating on that particular trade at break even. So ladies and gentlemen, this is where I'm going to be wrapping up this video on this particular session. So thank you very much for finding out time to join us or to watch my video. Please, if you enjoyed this content, subscribe to my page if you haven't, like it, please, and share the content. I really appreciate this. Thank you, guys. Let's keep peeping and see you in the next video. Peace.